Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation, and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. Let go of negative thinking and stop living for the weekend. With your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, your resident subconscious success mentor, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. If you want to stop sabotaging your own success and let go of the stress, then you are in the right place, my friend. Make sure you download your free Stressed to Success guided meditation at bit.ly/stressed to success as my little gift to you for being here. Please do subscribe, share, review. It really, really helps people that need to hear this message find us, and I so appreciate it. In the show notes, you will also find details of how you can work with me and where you can get your mitts on my meditations, products, and printables. You can also find it through the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my second favorite place to hang out. So please do come join me over there at I'm Fran Excel. Tag me in your takeaways, slide into my DMs. I am here for it. So that is the formalities over, my love. So let's jump into the content. It's time to normalize getting help and support for your mind. It's one of your most precious assets. And there's often so much shame around getting help that people just don't. So it's the last thing that people look at often. Often having spent thousands on strategies, shiny objects and fads, all of which don't work unless you look at this stuff. So their money goes on the promise of quick fixes before they feel they have no choice but to ask for help. They've tried everything. Yeah? This needs to change. It's fundamental to growing your business. It's fundamental in life, let's be honest. Whether it's coaching, mentoring, therapy, counselling, hypnotherapy, NLP, whatever it may be, the bottom line is you don't need to stay stuck or in pain. At some point, it is something that the vast, vast majority of us deal with, but only a small percentage are open about it. Yeah, we need to change the language around anything to do with your mind too. Mental health issues or mental health problems. And I'm struggling with or suffering with my mental health. Feeling the need to hide it when it's just part of how we're built. Yeah. Our unconscious protects us. All of us. Your mind and body work together to keep you out of that perceived danger. And at any one point, you can have any or all of the following influencing your behavior: your thoughts and beliefs, experiences, traumas from your childhood, conditioning from your upbringing and environment and culture, unconscious bias, things that your parents, teachers, siblings, grandparents, friends said to you. There's genetics, your particular triggers, the physiological responses that you get that trigger your autonomic nervous system. So you can see that it can be quite a complex issue. Yeah. And the majority of people just aren't trained to know this. So we just accept things as the way they are. But it absolutely doesn't have to be that way. All of this can be unpicked. It doesn't have to keep you stuck, but you will stay stuck if you don't start to at least get curious about what drives your behavior. Frog in my throat. There are so many options out there to make this way easier than doing it on your own. Trust me, that's what I did. And it took a long time and a lot of trial and error trying to do it myself. But like I say, you've got counseling, therapy, coaching, mentoring, EMDR, IFS, hypnotherapy, NLP, heart math, countless other modalities available to you. And if it wasn't something that a huge number of people struggled with, these wouldn't exist. So I can guarantee you're not on your own. Obviously, the way I'm talking about this now isn't in terms of kind of, let's look at the really deep, dark mental health. This is day-to-day living that we have to deal with. Yeah. In other cultures, it's just as normal as going to the gym, seeing some of these people. You may have one, you may have three. Think of it as a workout for your mind. There is no shame as far as I'm concerned. There is no weakness. If anything, it's a strength. All of this, it's just another form of communication. And that's how I want to reframe it. It's allowing you to communicate with yourself internally, yeah, with your emotions, with your body, with your mind. We're so disconnected to so much of this stuff. It's like I'm always telling you, 95 to 99% of your behavior is unconscious. This is why. If you don't know to challenge something, why would you? So think about it it really, how long could you stay in a negative spiral or a down day if you didn't talk it out with someone? Where have you had that experience where you've been really down, talked to someone and just felt so much better? Someone said something that's helped you reframe it in the moment. How much relief do you feel when you have spoken to someone? How much more quickly do you then move forwards? And then imagine talking to someone who isn't just your mate, who really, really knows how to navigate this stuff, who knows what they're looking for, who knows how to question it, who has that curiosity, that lack of judgment, all of these things. So normally the things that you really want to avoid are the very, very things that will be the catalyst for big positive changes in your life. Sometimes someone will say something or ask a question in the right way, and it can change everything for you in an instant. You may have never, ever got to that point trying to do it for yourself. Yeah. And I feel like people are starting to wake up to this. To be honest, I think it's really started to happen in areas where it is so, so important, purely because people are starting to realize how important it is, like entrepreneurship, like professional athletes, creatives, movie stars, musicians. Yeah. It's definitely started to be taken more seriously, which I'm so pleased about. I want to normalize these feelings. There's nothing wrong with you. Like I'm always saying, there's nothing wrong with you. Well, it's kind of been going on for years, but people are more willing to talk about it now, right? So doing what I do, I'm in the really fortunate position that people open up to me very easily and feel safe, to be completely honest. And I am so, so, so grateful for that. I have so many friends who have therapists, but I'm the only one who knows, right? I normalize it for them. So what's going on in our mind goes on in our body too. It's in our nervous system, it's in our cells. It affects everything. It hugely affects our ability to do things. And we know that because you're listening to me. So why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we putting off the thing that will help us move forwards the quickest? Allow us to grow as people, parents, spouses, friends, business owners. Why are we denying ourselves the ability to live a calm, happy, conscious life? Just because society has told us it's a bad thing? That it means we're weak or not normal in some way? How much have we unpicked in 2020 that has finally made us question things that we kind of just accept? Yeah, because we're told it. So it must be true, right? I read it in the paper. It must be true. How much have we realized it's just conditioning? Messages that we're sold and then accept as normal. Messages where somebody else benefits financially for us to believe that. That's a whole other rabbit hole that I'm not going to go down with you now. Oh, goodness, this frog. Bear with me. You don't have to live in a heightened state of stress, panic, overwhelm, self-doubt. You simply don't. You're not supposed to. Get one life. Right? There's this idea that seeking help with your mind is only reserved for people with serious conditions. And this is what I was saying earlier. It's not. Too many of us are walking around believing we have to hide our emotions, hide our struggles. And there's so much that can be changed simply by becoming aware of it. I talk all the time about stories that we create and don't challenge. Some of these things that hold us back can be gone in one conversation. Yeah. Some things are deeper and require a little longer. But you don't have to walk around feeling like you're just carrying a burden. Our unconscious programming rules our relationships with other people and ourselves, our careers, our businesses, everything. To think it doesn't need our attention from time to time is unreasonable. Yeah. With therapy, counselling, coaching, whichever modality you feel drawn to, we can identify those unconscious patterns. We can uncover out-of-date beliefs. We can find coping strategies that would have helped us at one point in our lives, but are having a detrimental effect now and stopping us moving forwards. You can learn to regulate your emotions, manage anxiety, heal past traumas, regulate your nervous system, overcome self-sabotage, and so much more. Why would you not want to do this? So how do we go about normalizing it, making it just something that you do? You get a business coach, you get a mindset coach. Yeah. You have someone that you talk to. Talking about it without fearing judgment of others is how we go about this. Talking about it without fearing the judgment of others. It really can be that simple. Just owning it. Letting other people see that you think it's normal. You never know how many people are going to go, oh, me too. And this is why I'm so open about struggles that I've had in the past and how they've affected things for me going forward, and how I talk about how I have a therapist and a coach for the different areas of my life. I think it's so important that no one thinks anyone has an off day. Yeah, or some deep unconscious programming might get uncovered. It's just not true. There's nobody that never has an off day. Yeah. An example is something I've been working through this year is my best friend's death when I was at boarding school when I was 11, totally out of nowhere. I used to just not talk about it. It was 25 years ago. I should be over it, right? However, this is why it's so fun peeling the onion that is your unconscious. And I know that this does not sound fun, but this year I've realized that event shows up in so many ways in my adulthood, in my ability to get really close to people, how and who I can trust. And this is actually a big one when it comes to outsourcing for your business, for example. You can see how these things start to show up, but it also affected how I show up in my friendships and relationships. I learned in that moment when I found out about his death that my emotions were inconvenient for people and I shouldn't show them, which led to me being disconnected to my feelings. In many situations, I made up that people didn't care about me. And I can see how all through my teens and 20s, I would unconsciously test people. You know, I'd be quick to cut people out if they wronged me in any way. Like one chance and you're out. You know, all in one event that happened when I was a child. But I should be over it, right? Yeah. So these things can hold us back and they can come from completely unexpected places. For me, it's really not about not having a bad day or not going through things in life, because polarity is what makes life beautiful. You can't experience the good without the bad. The bad is always telling you something, but it's just knowing how to navigate it. So you can do it with that curiosity, opposite of judgment, right? Is knowing there's always another layer to the onion. There's always something you had no idea could be affecting the way that you do things until you look at it with curiosity. It doesn't have to be a big thing like your best friend dying. It can be something really small, like something a teacher said to you. Yeah. Being told you should be seen and not heard, or you'd never amount to anything, or you're not performing academically and therefore you create in that moment that you're not good enough at anything. Yeah. But there's also a huge thing that I see in the mindset coaching space, which I've talked about on the podcast before. And it's this feeling like you have to have your mindset perfect all the time. I see it all the time. And it is utter rubbish. So for all my lovely mindset coaches out there who are listening, and therapists and psychologists, you know this at your core, but it's easy to get caught in this. Yeah. Also, it's important to have gone through the experience of being coached and having therapy, etc. yourself. That's why with so many qualifications, it's a prerequisite to getting qualified. So you have to go through these yourself. I believe that every good coach, therapist, anyone who wants to work in this field should have their own version of themselves for themselves. Yeah. You are not an island, and it's impossible to think that you're always going to have a good day and you're always going to be conscious and infallible. No one is infallible to their unconscious programming. I don't care what qualifications you've got. Yeah. When you can take away fault or blame for yourself for struggling, it's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. You deserve to live the best life possible. And if ever there was a time to shift the way we think about this, is 2020. I do really, really feel like there's a big shift happening, which I'm so grateful for. But what really drives me in why I do what I do is the belief that no one has to just accept where they are. No one should have to go through pain unnecessarily. And it is pain, right? If we're holding ourselves back and we're procrastinating and we're overwhelmed, we're putting ourselves through pain unnecessarily. We shouldn't feel the need to internalize things and make it something that's wrong with us on an identity level. You're not broken, my love. You don't need fixing. But why not live the life that you deserve? Let's normalize this. Yeah? And just a reminder, you can grab one of my 2-hour sort stuff sessions to get you in the best headspace possible. They're only going to be available to book before Christmas. You can take them in January, but the pricing ends on December 23rd, and it's a saving of 250 squidleroonies. If you want to work through any gremlins that are left over from 2020, set goals in a way that's actually going to work for you and what you want, not any of this unconscious programming, what you want. And if you want to know that you can navigate anything 2021 decides to throw at you and go into it with clarity and confidence, then these sessions are for you. And all you've got to do, and I'm not making it super easy because there's only going to be a handful. You need to be ready for this because I'm going to help you, my friend. You've just got to email fran@franexcel.com or DM me over on Instagram @I'mFranExcel, and I will send you all the details. I really hope this has been helpful. And if it's given you anything, I just hope it makes you think differently about opening up, being honest, whether it's with a friend, whether it's with a family member, or you seek coaching, mentoring, anything along those lines. I just hope that it makes you think a little differently about it. Yeah. There's always something on the other side. You don't have to stay stuck. So if you've got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and start changing things for yourself, then please do book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. If you want my eyes and ears on your problems, then I do work with people one-on-one and through the Proactive Pants program. You can find all the details to book in a call in the show notes, the link in my bio on Instagram, and on my website, franexcel.com. So stop waiting for if and when and choose to change things now because you can. I am here to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And as always, I hope you found this helpful. And as always, I will see you next week. Bye.